No local application. Don't apply the yogurt there. No.
Okay.
But you can consume it. Yes.
Okay.
So eating it, not putting it on there.
Hey babe, what's up? You're having what? You're having what vaginal discharge? Babe, that doesn't sound normal. Yeah, I think it's time for you to see your doctor. Hi everyone, and welcome back with me, Mahira Khan, on AskMeDoctor Special Edition. So in conjunction with International Women's Day, we would like to talk about vaginal health. Vaginal health is an important part of women's overall health. Vaginal problems can affect your fertility and so much more. Ongoing vaginal health issues can also impact your self-confidence. So you have to know the signs and symptoms of vaginal problems and what you can do to protect your vaginal health. So to know the signs and symptoms of vaginal problems and what you can do to protect your vaginal health, I bring to you an obstetrician and gynecologist from Sunway Medical Centre, who is also a mother of 2 children, 2 boys, right?
Yes.
Well, please welcome Dr. Janani Sivanathan. Hi doctor, how are you?
I'm good, Mahira, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on today.
You're most welcome. Okay, so we already have a lot of questions lined up for you. So we already have a number of questions in here which were given by the audience out there. So what you have to do is just pick up the questions and I'll read them out and we'll answer them one by one.
It's like a lucky draw.
It's like a lucky draw, exactly. Let's see what your first lucky draw is for today. Okay. All right, so I have our first question, and our first question is, how can we differentiate the normal vaginal discharge compared to the other ones?
Women in the reproductive age group will have a physiological discharge. So this is the normal discharge that happens during the cycle.
Right.
Okay, so from as soon as the periods are over, probably there'll be a bit of like yellowish discharge, and then the discharge stops, and then in the mid of the cycle, the discharge becomes more watery and clear, and it's a bit more copious in amount.
Right.
And a few days after that, it will become a bit more thick and white mucus. And after that, it might be a bit yellowish, and then you get your periods.
Right.
Okay. So physiological discharge is normal, and this is related to the hormones. So mostly because of the effects of estrogen onto the vagina. So the vagina is rich in glycogen and is converted to lactic acid. So that's why the vaginal pH is acidic at like less than 4.5 the pH. It's called the normal flora, okay, which is normal. So when there is an imbalance, there's a tip in the pH which can be caused by any illness, we're not feeling well, or immunocompromised, or someone who's been taking long-term antibiotics.
Right.
Some certain contraceptive pills may tip this balance, and because of that, the bad bacteria starts growing because the pH has shifted.
Okay.
All right. And so the abnormal vaginal discharges occur. So what is abnormal? If it starts itching, okay, there's a smell, which is different from the usual, and if the color becomes greenish, it's frothy, grey, thick, curdy, these are all abnormal.
Right.
So 70% of women, at least once in their lifetime, would have had a fungal infection. That is pretty common.
Okay.
And the symptoms of it would generally be itchiness, thick, curdy-like discharge.
So generally, it all goes down to the pH of the vagina, is it?
Yes. So keeping the vaginal pH in balance in acidic sort of environment
Right.
will maintain the normal flora.
Okay.
So any thing that upsets that causes abnormal discharge. Other than that, things like lubricants, especially if it's perfumed or with certain flavors, and spermicides, latex can also cause abnormal discharge and
Right.
cause disruption to the vaginal flora. So these also can cause discharge in the women.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Okay, so we're done with our first question. Now it's time for you to pick up our second question.
Right. Let's see. What's the second one? Lucky draw. Here you go.
Thank you. All right. So, Our second question for today is, all right, so this is a question from some of the audience out there, and the question is, Doctor, every time during my fertile period, I always have discharge with some blood and it smells. May I know what causes it and what I should do?
So during the fertile period is the middle of the cycle, which is the ovulation period.
Right.
So some women may have spotting during that time. It is common. This is called the ovulation bleed. Some unfortunately have a bit of pain, like crampy-like sensation in the middle of the cycle, and this is all normal. So the discharge will increase, the physiological discharge increases in the middle of the cycle. Of course, for fertility reasons, the discharge is clear, watery, and has a specific smell. So everyone has their specific smells, like the, a pheromone sort of thing.
Right.
So that is normal. It's a normal vaginal smell.
All right. So to anyone out there, if you are having the same questions as that and you're worried, well, Doctor just answered your questions. Do not worry. It's normal,
it's
and
fine.
it's an indication
It's
of
all good.
It's all good. Okay. What's our lucky draw now?
Yep. There you go.
Oh, good question. All right. So the third question, Doctor, is, can feminine wash help us to tackle the vaginal discharge and itchiness that comes along with it? Because I feel that it's not clean enough if I don't use it.
Okay, the vagina is self-cleansing. Okay, we don't need to put anything inside the vagina to clean it. That's really not recommended. So douching and all is not recommended. So like I mentioned, the vaginal flora, the normal one, will get disrupted if we put something inside and change the environment.
Right.
And so then the bad bacteria takes over.
Right.
So no douching. When they say they prefer to use the feminine wash because they feel it's not clean and causes itchiness. So normally there shouldn't be itchiness in the vagina. So
Okay.
if there is itching, it sort of means that there's something wrong or there's some infection.
Right.
So go and see a doctor and get that sorted.
Okay.
You can use a certain feminine wash just externally. So we would just advise to use a mild soap and water to wash the external part, which is the vulva, and that would be adequate.
That's sufficient enough,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Once again, your gentle touch.
Okay. And what is this?
And the next question, ding, question 4. What if we use feminine wash that does not contain sulfates, parabens, alcohols, and dyes inside it?
Okay, so that's a good option. So it's more natural, so you don't have all these extra things in it. So that would make it a very mild wash, and so that should be fine. But then again, it's only to wash the external parts. And
Right.
The other thing that's important for female hygiene is to ensure that we wash from front to back,
Right.
and not back to front, because most of the time urinary tract infections which occur, short-term UTI in females is usually due to the bacteria from the gut, so from the
Right.
back passage. So if we maintain certain hygienic practices such as this, and washing like after sexual intercourse, then there shouldn't be any issues. So this kind of mild feminine wash is absolutely all right.
Okay, so we got a thumbs up and a yes for using mild feminine washes. And remember, wash your feminine from the front to the
to
back.
back.
Yeah,
Yes,
not back to
front
front,
to-
front to back. Okay.
Yeah, and make sure it's clean and dry before putting on your undergarments.
So we have a final question, our last question for today.
Last one.
Finale. Wow. Ding. Question number 5. Is it true that consuming yogurts and pineapple is good for vaginal health? If yes, is the plain one okay, or can it be flavored ones?
There is no scientific basis to say that pineapples actually help in vaginal health.
Yeah.
From what I read, that a lot of people think that it gives a good smell and taste.
Well, actually, what I've heard with pineapples is if you're having cramps or such and you want your period flow to be smooth, you should consume pineapple so that it comes out smoothly and
Yeah,
flows
but
out.
there is not much of a scientific evidence on that.
Right.
But this is with regards to the vaginal health, as
Yes.
in, and the smell and the discharge. Apparently supposed to be sweeter with pineapples. That's the belief, but there is no scientific evidence on that.
Right.
So then we come back to the thing that your vagina is supposed to have that particular smell, which
Yes.
is normal, which you have during that mid-cycle, which is specific for you, and that is all good. If it becomes smelly, fishy smell, then you know that is infection,
Right.
and you should get it sorted.
Okay.
So I don't think you need to be, and please do not go and apply perfumes and things.
Anything scented,
at your,
right?
Yeah, lady bits there, because this will also disrupt the environment and cause infections.
All right. So it's important to keep it au natural as possible.
That's right.
Keep it clean, keep it sanitary, right? Well, doctor, we're done with all the questions for today. Thank you so much. I definitely learned a lot. See, I
My
didn't.
pleasure.
I honestly did not know that your gut could actually affect your vagina. See, that's something I had no idea on. And yeah, so I hope the audience out there really enjoyed our questions and Q&A today. And thank you so much for having us. Yeah, and another thing actually that I read that came out on TikTok and a lot of social media accounts is people are saying that you should apply yogurt to your feminine area as well as consume it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, no local application. Don't apply the yogurt there. No.
Okay.
But you can consume it. Yes.
Okay,
So eating it, not putting it down there.
So don't rely on everything you see on social media. Make sure you always consult a doctor, as we have. And yeah, so okay, we're done with all the questions for today. But before we end this, doctor, do you have any tips or anything you want to share with the audience out there?
Parents, especially moms, make sure that you get your general gynae routine checkups yearly, even though you have no issues, for your pap smears and a pelvic scan and a mammogram, so that you make sure that you're keeping yourself well.
Just to make sure everything's okay, right?
Yeah. So take care and stay safe. All the best.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, stay tuned for more informative videos. We're always coming up with interesting topics for you to watch. Till next time, I'm Mahira Khan.
I'm Dr. Janani Sivanathan.
And this is motherhood.com.my. Bye.